So I'm out here in my garden and it's starting to wind down. I need to clean up this deck again. Why do I keep growing avocado trees in my composter? Well, this is like the fourth or fifth one that's sort of come up in the composter, so I don't have the heart to throw them away. So I put them in a pot, and I have a little basil here. My fern did real well this year, and I usually buy one every year. They cost me like $12 at Mark's, and they're much smaller than this, and then they grow this big. So usually every year I buy one for my deck. And I made myself a little makeshift fountain this year. This is just a square plastic pot that I got at Home Depot. So, and usually what I do, because I've had little animals fall in here before, and it was kind of too late once I found them. So I just put this over the top, and it saves the birds. So this is all kind of winding down. The caladiums I'll plant again. They did real well this year because this deck is really shady. The coleus was, it was okay, but not epic, and I never did end up planting anything here, but next year I think I'm just going to plant a few begonias in there. Doesn't seem like anything likes to grow here because it's just too dark. Over here these didn't do as well, but they don't get really any sun. But I'm going to try and save these. I think they have, I'm not sure if they have tubers or what they have, but I'm going to try and dig them up and save them this winter and maybe replant them in the summer. My mints are still doing well. I need to trim those back and dry some for the winter. I still have lots to do, and believe it or not, I still have tomato seedlings. They're going to be done, but I didn't have the heart to just throw them away. So maybe I'll try and cut a couple of them back and just keep them indoors and see what happens. This rose of Sharon, I almost pulled it out because it planted itself, and it's a beautiful double rose of Sharon. So I'm glad I did not pull it out. So I have, it's getting pretty big, but I like that, and this little bee loves it. So you're welcome. But Rose of Sharon is sort of an invasive thing, but this was just too pretty to pull out. I still have some celery growing. I never did thin it out, but what I like to do is just cut the little stalks and I put it in salads and soups and wherever I want celery. So I will dry this before the frost comes, and then I'll have celery in the winter. So over here is my fall garden that I planted, and I still have a couple of tomato plants. This is a black cherry. This is a big cherry. They're still producing, so I'm going to leave those alone. Those are carrots over there. I planted some chard. This is a pimento that still has some buds on it. I don't know if anything will happen. This is Brussels sprouts. Never did anything where it was. I moved it over here. So we'll see. Maybe as the weather gets cooler, I'll get a couple Brussels sprouts. This is still a bag of potatoes that I had shriveled up in the pantry. So I just planted them. I don't really expect to see anything, but who knows, you know. It's nice and green anyway, even if nothing else happens. So over here in my fall garden, now I planted these about a month ago, and these are basil. This is pak choi. I need to thin that out, and I'll just eat some of it as microgreens. And this is arugula. Then I have my peppers over here, and I have a few peppers growing there. My peppers did not do well this year. I had them in a shadier area, but since I moved them here about a month and a half ago, I'm actually starting to get peppers, so who knows? I don't know how many I'll get, but we'll see. And there's my beautiful dahlia. It looks sort of pink in the picture here, but it's really an orangey yellow. It's really pretty. Nice fall color, actually. So over here I had planted some carrots. Some of them came up, but not epic. So I'll leave those grow, see what happens. I planted, this is a yellow squash, and I see it's starting to get a couple buds down there. So we'll see if I get any squash. If the bees don't go to sleep and pollinate it, I may get a couple more squash. The other squash I had in my other garden did nada, so they get much more sun here. Over here I have some bush beans planted. Those should still produce some things. That's a zucchini over there. I don't know what that's going to do. And I have some parsley, and then I have some zinnias. And over in the corner I have some beets coming up, and some red Russian kale that I planted. And like I said, these are all carrots. I didn't thin them out, I should have, but I'm just going to let them grow and see what happens. My impatiens did really well this year. This is like a 3-layer planter that I just took some square planters and set one inside the other. They always do well here. This is my little shade garden that I put the fence around, and the impatiens do real well here. I have a couple of begonia tubers that actually came up. I'm going to try and save those too. And I have some lilies here that are done that I really need to put in the ground. I hope it's not too late. And then my elephant ear. So those I'm going to save as well. These are some really tall cannas that I planted. These have not bloomed, but they don't get any sun. So, but they're nice foliage. It makes it look tropical. Here's some more pimentos. They do have some little flower buds on them, but being in a shade garden, I think the season's too short to have them actually produce anything. I'm going to rearrange my whole garden next year so it gets more sun. These are also peppers. Again, blossoms, but no peppers because they're too much in the shade. But my 2 eggplants, I do have a little eggplant coming. Yay! Eggplants did pretty well for me this year. And these are in the shade. My kale, this kale is actually, it's blue kale. I forget exactly what kind it is, but this all actually came back from last year. This is the 2nd year for this kale. I don't imagine I'm going to get a 3rd year out of it, but we'll see. And then this canna has been producing several flowers, and I see it's getting a new one, and it just got this one. So this one I will also try and save. We'll see how it goes. These pots are all filled with lemon balm that I still have to harvest, but the season isn't over yet. We have a good month before the end of the season. So we'll see how that goes, and I'd like to dry that because lemon balm is very healthy. This is a bird of paradise that was really small, and it has grown like crazy this year. It doesn't bloom, it doesn't get enough full sun, but I'm going to overwinter that as a house plant. And then the sedum did beautifully this year. And then I have some, I can't remember the name of it, and I grow them every year. But anyway, it's a vine, and I don't know, I'll try maybe and save that. I'm not sure. Over here I have my strawberry plants. It has lots of runners. My garden really needs some work. And so we'll see. My coleus is starting to be the end of its life cycle, starting to bloom. I probably should keep it trimmed, but I usually don't. This is a hardy hibiscus that I need to plant somewhere in the ground. And again, another sedum and mandevilla, that's what it's called, but this one isn't blooming. So, and this is my banana plant. That one I'll overwinter as a house plant. It's grown quite a bit too. It was really small. And this dahlia over here, this purple one, something kept eating it, and it's just now starting to bloom. And of course my gnome, I just love gnomes. And so this dahlia I will try and dig up and keep. I have another bunch of cannas here. A friend gave me most of these. I did buy a couple, but that one's also starting to bloom. But they are really, really tall and beautiful. I wanted this to be a very tropical little corner. That's why I put this reed fence up here. I don't know how that'll overwinter, but it wasn't expensive. It was like $14 for 2 rolls of it. So next year I'll put another one up if it doesn't make it. So over here I have some cherry tomatoes that are coming along. I pick a tomato, a few tomatoes here and there. Over there I have my beautiful mojito elephant ear. That one I definitely want to keep as a house plant. Over here I have some chard that I'm growing, and now that it's cooling off a little bit, it likes it way better, and I have a few beets stuck in there, but like I said, I haven't had much luck with beets. Then over here I bought this beautiful bromeliad, and I didn't realize that it gets these little purple flowers. They're kind of done here now, but they're a real pretty pastel purple, and they come right out of the bromeliad flower. I didn't know they did that. So this will be a house plant. This will be a house plant, and I'm going to try to overwinter this. It's a yellow tropical hibiscus, and I see it's got a couple buds. It really needs more sun, but oh well. And then over here, this was really pretty, and it was like an ornamental turmeric, but I'm going to try and dig up what's under there because all the foliage has dried up. And I do keep these watered, so I'm thinking maybe that's what it's supposed to do. I don't know. So over here I have another couple different kinds of elephant ears. There's 2 in there. I know I went a little crazy with the elephant ears, but you know, this is my hobby. I enjoy doing it. I really like different plants and flowers. And I see I'm getting another little eggplant blossom there. And there's a beautiful flower in the garden. That's my little Lizzie. My other 2 went in. Lizzie! Lizzie! Hi, baby! So over there is my other vegetable garden. I do have a couple eggplants over there. This is the garden that does not produce well. Now this year I got a lot of leafy things that grew, but even the cabbages, I have a couple cabbages, they were just eaten up like crazy. So this is one of the gardens I need to move, and I think I will move my little seating area over here and move my garden to the sun, which is over here. But that's going to be a lot of work, and I need some he-men to help me move the boxes because those are city picker boxes there. So anyway, that's my fall garden so far. I need to get out here and do some work, but I do love my garden. If you enjoyed this video,
Please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.